So this is the list I've got together. The sideboard is actually exactly the same as the 80 card Soul Rider sideboard, but this is also like the sideboard I like to play in my Yorion 80 card Kiki-Jiki decks. And I will say that the Chord of Calling decks are the best Yorion decks because they get to make good use of their sideboard, which is very difficult to do usually because you can't London Mulligan for your aggressive cards. But if you just play 8 tutors, it's very easy to Eldritch Evolution or Chord of Calling into, you know, Magus of the Moon or Eidolon of Rhetoric or Collector Oof, or against you know, any specific deck, and so that way you're able to really utilize your sideboard. So I know I'm gonna have to go over the combos a little bit, and I'm not 100%. I know a few different lines. We'll probably find a few different ones today. But the main line, so the main goal of this deck is to untap with Prime Speaker Vannifar. And there are a few different ways to combo off after you untap with Prime Speaker Vannifar. One of the main and most direct routes is to sack a Mana Dork into Corridor Monitor, untap Prime Speaker Vannifar, sacrifice it into Renegade Rallier, bring back Corridor Monitor, untap Vannifar, sacrifice Renegade Rallier into either Restoration Angel or Breaching Hippocamp, blinking Corridor Monitor, or just untapping Vannifar. And then you sack your 4-drop into Kiki-Jiki, and Kiki-Jiki can copy the Corridor Monitor and go infinite with Prime Speaker Vannifar. And there's a few other ways to go about it. I'm also, you know, playing a Vendilion Clique to maybe put back the Kiki-Jiki if we draw it that you can tutor for. I'm also playing a Torch Courier, which is 1 mana, 1/1 haste, and you can sacrifice it to give it another creature haste until end of turn. So if you have Vannifar in your hand, or if you have Vannifar in play in Chord of Calling, one thing you can do is you can end of turn Chord of Calling for Torch Courier, and then play Vannifar and kill them, or you can end of turn Chord of Calling for Giver of Runes to protect your combo. So you have two like kind of different interactive 1 mana creatures to tutor for, which is always really good in Chord of Calling decks to have a powerful effect at 1 mana to tutor up. Mulligan the 0-land hand, sadly. Probably need to keep this. We do have, you know, 2 mana dorks. We could put back the Breaching Hippocamp too. Big question is, do we lead on Giver of Runes here? I think that it's probably good to lead on Giver of Runes in Temple Garden. If we draw a land, we can go Wall of Roots Hierarch, and if you know, this also plays around removal much better. Said about no Hall of the Bandit Lord. Yeah, I think it's just too rough on our mana base. I could just get basic Mountain here. It's probably a bit loose to do. Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, drawing the land is just absurdly good. Probably just going to play Vannifar, right? And say good luck to my opponent. GG! Good game, opponent. What's my thought process of making 4-color mana bases? I'd like to be able to cast all my spells. It's more complicated than that, and I feel maybe a bit bad because I don't have like tips and tricks or like you know 1-line advice, you know, like article content for this kind of stuff. It's like most of my Magic playing and Magic deck building ends up being a bit more intuitive. I think I'm not gonna show them resto. It ends up being a bit more intuitive than calculating. So that's just sometimes makes it difficult to give advice. So my opponent's playing the red-black mid-range deck with Blood Moons, it looks like. So what do we want to play against that? I'm not sure if I want this Thragtusk. Probably not. I'm kind of down to play Knight of Autumn over Deputy of Detention. Do I want the Torch Courier? Probably do. Probably want the Ooze as well. Probably don't want the Clique. Maybe cut Hippocamp 2, play a Forge Tender. This looks fine to me. I think you could maybe play Thragtusk, but I'm gonna not. Do you think you're hiding information by not playing Resto? I mean, yes. It's possible that we're a teamer-based version. I don't know if we actually showed our opponent white mana. But you can build this list without Restoration Angel and just be all white. I can't remember. Obviously, just doesn't matter very much either way, right? Why no Avalanche Riders? I think that you don't need to hedge as much against the big mana decks by playing Avalanche Riders if you just have this combo, was my thinking. You could maybe afford to play one, though. We let on Simple Garden, then, I mean, it didn't matter, right? It just didn't matter. A lot of times when I'm comboing off and my opponent's not conceding yet, I'm just kind of talking to fill the void, until I get to kill my opponent. Is really all that was. So there's no need to read too much into anything I ever say. This is an entertainment channel, not a channel where you will ever gain any valuable insight or anything close to that. I think I'm discarding Triome, and I might just play Ooze, eat the Kroxa. Could also be good to play Spellskite. I think I like getting the Skite down to protect the Ooze. Yeah, like the Learning Channel or the Discovery Channel or the National Geographic Channel, just nothing of value in this stream. It's pretty good for them. I think I'm just going to discard these two and go in on my Ooze. Get a Teamer Triome. And I know we have Spellskite for Lightning Bolts, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and eat here. These are also creatures for the Ooze. We also have Yorion in our hand still. I mean, I'll just take 6. We're not dead to Lightning Bolt here. Third Skelemental's awkward, I guess. Do I want to play around another copy of Lightning Skelemental here by leaving back the Ooze? I think so, yeah. You want to be to something like Skyclave? Well, we have a Deputy of Detention, but yeah, I do think Skyclave's awkward on the mana, but it's castable, probably. Hi Emma, how are you doing today? Yeah, I think just not losing to a Skelemental here seems good. We're doing well today. It's Donation Deck Thursday. Having a good time. Huh. Anything I want to tutor up that is good in the graveyard? Not really. No Uro to get here. I guess we could get Seasoned Pyromancer. That's probably worth it, right? Seems doing. Ooze was really good here. Yeah, I really enjoy Dono deck days. They're always all over the place. I think I'm just attacking with Ooze and keeping Chord for 2 up. Get Omnath, I can't. Opponent has revealed an Unearth, which doesn't do much against this Ooze. But now I have to Chord for 1. Because I don't want them to Unearth my Croaks and deal me... Unearth their Croaks and deal me 3. So do I want to get Forge Tinder or Giver? Probably Giver. Giver plus Spellskite's pretty powerful. Ewit for call. I mean, I think if we're gonna get Eternal Witness, we just don't main phase it. There's no reason to main phase it. But we have to not attack with the Ooze into the Dark Confidant, which seems like a bad idea to not attack with the Ooze into the Dark Confidant. We have 2 creatures in our graveyards. The Ooze is threatening to be 9/9, so they probably are just chumping here, right? They're not chumping. Well, I'll just put them to 2. And not put Yorion into my hand. They reveal a Lightning Bolt, which is not very good against our board. I haven't activated a Spellskite in a long time. I'm not going to give Pro Red to my Spellskite right now either. Yellow Hat. Thanks for the raid, dude. Hope you're having a good day. We have Donation Deck Thursday here today. This is our second in the queue. We're playing Vannifar combo. I was asked to build the best Vannifar combo deck I could, and this is what we came up with today. I don't think I need to block this. Even beat their hand being exactly 2 more bolts. Okay, so they can kill my Spellskite. So if their hand is exactly Fatal Push, and I go for the, protection from black, we lose. I mean, that's fine. Like they have to have their hand be exactly Fatal Push, which it's not, and then they're just dead to their Bob. I guess we could have also just attacked with both Giver and Ooze, but that also just loses the push in the same way. So it's just Kiki-Jiki with Vannifar instead. I guess, yeah. You could say that. We won the die roll. All the companions revealed. Classic Yorion versus Luris. What are my thoughts on these BR Edsel style decks in Modern? I think they're fine. But my problem with them is that I don't think Blood Moon is a good main deck card right now, where it's just not good against the best decks, which are Heliod and Swiftspear decks. So, I think that if you play that deck, you probably just want to sideboard the Blood Moons. Uncle Iro, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Hopefully you'll have some wise words from us, or for us. Just gonna get a cup of tea. I had a cup of tea earlier because my throat was killing me this morning. Is there a reason we're using click over borrower? You can click yourself to put combo pieces, namely the one copy of Kiki-Jiki, on the bottom of your library to make it, make sure that you can combo. And also, like, you can, click them and see if they have any permission. You get to look at their hand. Click is much better in this deck, in my opinion. So probably red-black Scourge. We do have a main deck Auriok champion to tutor up, which is very, very helpful in this matchup. So we're probably now playing Hierarch plus fetching up a Jeskai Triome. And if my second Hierarch dies and I don't draw a land, this game may be over before it really starts. Can you turn this into a deck given monies at a later date? Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, I understand the butt payoff decks, They've definitely been around for a while. But I personally don't really think that they have legs. But I can maybe take a look. Let me think about it. Wub gifting 10 subs, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, can't cast any of our spells. I'll put Auriok into my hand. Thank you, Wub. Total of 71 gifted subs. B-Boy, if you could post that deck list in the chat. I can't actually copy paste from the notification tab, but I'll take a look if you post it in chat. What's my opinion on Sultai Toski? I think Bant is better, but Sultai is an interesting version. Please be Kroxa. Uh-oh, not Kroxa. Well, if we draw a land and we can maybe untap with Vannifar. Did not draw the land. Spoiler. Do I want Ooze? I might want Ooze. I think that I want to cut the Torch Courier, cut the Vendilion Clique, cut the second Hippocamp. We might only need to be playing one, honestly. Maybe 0 is even better. Probably can cut Deputy of Detention. Maybe not. The Scryb Ranger. I'm also maybe down to trim Eldritch Evolution against the deck with so much spot removal. I think I'll bring in the Ooze. Let's bring in the Ooze. Can we cut a bird or a Hierarch? I think we can. How many of these decks figure you can run in Staring Bridge and Umezawa? I've seen those lists too. I just don't know. I think I'm gonna say no to the big butt request. Do I prefer the OG Eternal Witness Art or Double Masters? I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm not sure. I think both are good. So this is another take on the Vannifar Saheeli deck. One thing is I don't think I like main deck Magus right now. I really like main deck Auriok Champion. I also really think you really want to be a Yorion deck. I think that Kiki core decks are better as Yorion decks, and so obviously that's what I'm playing here. But I really do think that you want to be on Yorion. I do think it's interesting to try to also play Saheeli. I'm also not convinced Village Bellringer is better than Bounding Krasis or Corridor Monitor. Maybe it is. Definitely a weird card. I also really dislike Horizon Canopy in these decks. Just your mana base is already very painful as it is. Just drawing a Canopy can just lose you a game that you would otherwise win. I like a sideboard that's a little more focused on I like a sideboard that's a little more focused on bringing in impactful creatures rather than just having cheap interaction. Specifically, I'm not too big a fan of Force of Negation in this deck, but maybe it's good and I just don't realize it. I think those are my thoughts. What's the combo in this deck? Basically, if you untap with Prime Speaker Vannifar, you have a few different ways to get a Kiki-Jiki and a creature that untaps Kiki-Jiki into play. You have to have a creature in play in order to do so, but you've got a lot of different lines to take. Maybe a Toski Sulta deck with maybe Death Shadows. I would probably accept that. I would accept that donation, yeah. I think that the line here is going to be Basic Plains, Eladamri's Call for Giver of Runes. I think that this game is going to be a really good showcasing of why having an impactful 1-mana creature is pretty important with the tutor effects. This is a donation deck. This is a donation brew where I've been commissioned to build a version of Vannifar, but is a donation, yeah. Every deck on Thursday usually is. I thought about running Kiki pod lines, pod, Glenalondra into red cap into conscripts on taps pod. I mean, the problem is like to value Prime Speaker Vannifar just doesn't make a ton of sense, since it's really, really easy to just kill your opponent every time you get to untap with it, and this has Summoning Sickness while pod doesn't, so you don't just get to play it and get a value creature, then combo the following turn like you used to with Birthing Pod. How close is Esther to the 2,000,001 subscriber points? Probably 1,955,000 away. Yeah. She probably doesn't have any more than 10,000 channel points, and she probably doesn't even have that many. All right, Vannifar. You will live. Vannifar, you're going to live. You only die to Revolted Fetchland, Revolted Fatal Push, and Dismember. We also notably I don't believe Restoration Angel allows us to combo. And Angrath's Rampage. I didn't give my creature protection from Angrath's Rampage, sadly. Well, I guess that's a plan. Path this turn, draw land for Thragtusk. Am I running back Ban Stoneblade this weekend? I think I am. I at the time of making this comment, I don't think I'm going to be able to play a tournament this weekend. I've got real life stuff to do. But if I could, I probably would. I might also play the Temur Urza deck though, just because it's like a fresh brew, and I usually like to play fresh brews and challenges if I think they're good, and I do think the Temur Urza deck is good. At 1-1. Probably a mulligan. Maybe not, just solid mana is not something to sneeze at with this hand. And this hand actually does have turn 2 Spellskite, turn 3 Tutor for Vannifar, turn 4 just cast Vannifar and kill on turn 5 with some protection. It's actually probably a keep. But it also keeps 7. I would much rather be on the play with this hand, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, we could also now Eladamri's Call for Auriok Champion. Ooh, Omnath is a good draw. If we were on the play, I feel like this match would just already, or this game would already be over. I say your full name. Yeah, I know I say your name differently every time. I don't really feel bad because it's confusing. Do we play birds? Probably just need to play Spellskite. Then maybe we play birds next turn and can play Omnath into fetch land on our turn, fetch land on their turn. If we live that long. Can't redirect that. I'm gonna block this with Spear, of course. They kill it, they kill it. Down to 7. Down to 6. People are at least consistent, yeah. I'm anything. Or I've definitely never been a very consistent person. DJ Jedi Jeff, thank you for your 5 months in a row. Hope you're having a good day today. I mean, they could just have 2 Boros Charms, which do not target, which can't be redirected to Spellskite. But seeing them sack Sunbaked Canyon, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling lucky. We're dead to Boros Charm. I think we just accept being dead to Boros Charm. I think if I resolve Omnath, I almost definitely win. Just like gaining 8 life a turns, you know, unreal. I mean, they could have Skullcrack, but we still have the ability to gain. Oh, yeah, okay. They don't even let me show them the land. So we have to bring in the Forge Tender, the Paths, the Drag Tusk, the Knight of Autumn, use things that say gain life on them. I think this looks pretty good to me. It's about what we did last time. Probably have a better burn matchup than Red Black Scourge, though. Eidolon seems okay. I think Eidolon's not that good against burn. I think it's really easy for them to just cast 1 spell on their turn, 1 spell on your turn. Just kind of ignore the Eidolon. Not the worst card to bring in. The 1-mana red creature is Torch Courier. It's a 1-mana 1/1 goblin with haste, but you can sacrifice it to give target creature haste. So it's a 1-mana creature. You can, like, end of turn, chord for 1, get Torch Courier, untap, play Vannifar, give your Vannifar haste, and kill your opponent. Which I think is good to play. Got mulligan this hand. Easy keeping this. We have turn 2 Auriok Champion, turn 3 copy Auriok Champion. Also a Spellskite. Take it, I guess. I guess I really want to get a Jeskai Triome here, and so usually if there's one specific land I want to get off of Goblin Guide, a land I really don't want to reveal to Goblin Guide, I'll just fetch before the trigger to not have them, you know, make me draw it. Hopefully this is fast enough. Probably kept to 1 lander, so probably will be. Yeah, Spellskite's I also, you know, grew up playing with Spellskite. Just, you know, being a very, very popular modern card, and it hasn't been for a while. 80 cards, by the way. 1 Auriok Champion, 1 Glasspool Mimic. How about Skullcrack is game over if they have it here. I don't seem to have it. I think they're not attacking, which would probably be a mistake, right? Yeah, never mind, I was wrong. I think it's better to save 5 life than it is to, or 3 life than it is to eat a Goblin Guide here. Especially because with these 2 0/4s, their creatures are going to matter much, much less here. Don't have enough green creatures to have Chord of Calling up here, notably. Should I get Mountain so that I could cast Kiki-Jiki potentially, or Omnath? I think so. Well, maybe I'm a little light on green. We can get green with the Vista next turn. Yeah, we might just be going Resto next turn, Kiki-Jiki next turn, or the following turn. Can't play both Resto and Kiki next turn, right? No, we're short. This is like the most ambitious attack I've ever seen. Bad if they have Skullcrack, I guess, but... You probably realize the creatures aren't doing anything. I don't know. I mean, they can at least like not give me Goblin Guide triggers and leave them back to block. Although I guess I, now don't have this a 4 toughness Spellskite, which is not nothing. I'm just gonna go to 1. So Restoration Angel gains us 4 life here. Yeah, we have to cast Restoration Angel because we can't fetch. Yeah, we could have tried to play around Skullcrack. I mean, they didn't have it last turn, though. I don't know. I'm not sure if they were bluffing. It can be difficult to die because of the Spellskite. Why not redirect Spellskite to save damage? You save 1 damage redirecting with Spellskite, and so we'd be at 6 compared to 5, which is basically no difference. We also lose the Spellskite because Spellskite blocks with Spear. I guess I don't want to die to Boros Charm because we can't redirect that. You cannot Restoration Angel your own Restoration Angel. No. I'm just passing. No, I'm not gonna go for the win. If I go for, I have to crack this Vista in order to Chord of Calling. It is infinite life if I get Kiki-Jiki. But if my opponent has Boros Charm, I lose. So let's just not play into Boros Charm. But now this is infinite life. Right, 2 and 1. Thing is, I'm gonna mulligan this on the draw. Might have kept on the play, I don't know. Probably have to keep this. I think we can put back Sacred Foundry. Playing against Heliod combo. I wonder what this matchup is like. Probably better if we don't flood. We can beat Infinite Life. 2 lands in a row with this hand feels so abysmal. We can beat Infinite Life. We have to Deputy of Detention, one of their life gain pieces, and then we make infinite damage. Thank you, Esther. Yeah, that doesn't do too much against me. Why not shock and at least represent the path? I don't think my opponent's gonna play around it. It's also, I don't know. I don't think that the 2 life matters. I don't think that bluff is so good that I'm willing to throw away 2 life. Well, this is my flood insurance. Cashing in the policy. Don't think we're supposed to play Scryb Ranger first. Yeah, Core Firewalker is a very good budget replacement for Auriok Champion, but Champion is better for the most part. Yikes. Not just dead on board, but dead in every way that matters, I think. Do I want Meddling Mage? Meddling Mage is so medium against specifically Collected Company. I don't think I want to play it. Don't think I want Staticaster. Avid Mind Sensor is kind of good against Ranger Captain. I do want the Torch Courier. I don't want Auriok Champion. I think I do want Clique. Probably cut Witness number 3. Talos, thank you for gifting this up to Squee. Very cool of you. Yeah, I might just sideboard like this. I don't feel like any of my bullets are that good. I mean, we could maybe play Oof. I guess that's good since like we do have outs to their infinite life. I mean, I see a lot of lists cutting Eladamri's Call, so I think if I see Eladamri's Call, I'll bring in a Mind Sensor for game 3. Mulligan. Keep. I think I'm putting back Restoration Angel.
I don't know how I got so much foam in the coffee this time.
Yeah, I know, it's super foam.
Like, yesterday I did both 6 ounces, so I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes there's more foam. Probably has to do with the rotation of the Earth.
Yeah, it makes our broom stand up too.
Whoa.
Sometimes the broom just stands up on its own. It's like that damn rotation of the Earth. And then it starts walking and multiplying with itself.
I'm not listening. What? Yeah. You could just say I don't feel like repeating myself, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got it, you got it, you know?
Wow.
And if you did it, you didn't.
So we can chord for 2. Although I kind of like the idea of chording for Torch Courier. What is my brand and model of espresso machine? I don't know. My mom got it for me for Christmas. But it's good, I would recommend it. I don't know what brand it is. Yeah, Revoker would be nice. That might be a good card to play. Would Spellskite redirect Heliod trigger? No.
The DeLonghi ECP3 series.
It's probably not very helpful.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like this.
So if we draw a land, we can win the game. Alright. I think I'm just jamming. Feels like this is the matchup where you're just jamming, you know? Rat jamming. My opponent doesn't have a way to interact with me. They lose. I think they probably have a Collected Company. So if they hit Heliod or Spike Feeder, or Heliod for their Spike Feeder, or Skyclave Apparition, they can disrupt me. They could also have Path. They could also have nothing.
I brought a Wild Athena.
Thank you, Wild Athena, for showing up. We'll give Athena some screen time while our opponent waits to figure out how they want to, if they want to cast their Coco now or after this resolves.
She says, I thought Mommy was giving me a treat, but this is just your chapstick.
So we need them to not hit Heliod or Skyclave Apparition, which is, it's just kind of asking a lot, but I think in this spot we're just jamming, you know. Just jamming. Well, so now they have infinite power. So we can get Conclave Mentor. Don't I went through Heliod? No, because they can gain more life than angels I make. They say I gain a million life. I say I make a million plus 1 power, and then they say, all right, after attacks are declared, I'll gain more life. So because they all, so we could just get Deputy of Detention to deal with the Heliod, but because they also hit Conclave Mentor, they have infinite power. So we actually lose there. Does Esther play MTG? Esther is actually the one playing MTG while I'm doing commentary usually. Keeping this hand. This hand looks cool. I think I'm getting Jeskai Triome on turn 1. Yeah, Esther wasn't really a coffee person before we got an espresso maker.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh, I woke up in the morning, I need coffee. Like, I think I am at that point where
she says,
I need a coffee to start the day.
Don't you dare talk to me until I've had my coffee, Everett. Don't you fucking dare talk to me.
Don't you? Oh, look at her. She doesn't even use the bed. She uses a pile of blankets.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like it because I can get like Starbucks level coffee. In my opinion, I think it is.
Breaching Hippocamp. How good has this deck been? I don't know. I think that this deck is probably a bit worse than like specifically Heliod combo, which we just lost to. Or like a more value-based Chord of Calling deck, which I've been playing some of. But I would say that this deck is playable and fun and probably has a good amount of room for improvement if you want to try to improve the deck.
What is a flat white?
What are you saying?
Coffee.
It's hard when you just like when you're responding out loud to chat and I'm not looking at it. It's difficult. I get all disoriented. Whoa.
How about you just don't pay attention because this is my time.
Well, I think you have to put the crab claws on if you're gonna
oh my god.
be here. So we have to cast the Hippocamp in our hand here, right? Which is fine. To make some mana too. Or is it actually better to... Alright, I see a line that wins here. Things can get kind of complicated. What we can do is we can sack the Wall of Roots to get our second copy of Renegade Rallier, or we could even be a bit more fancy and get Glasspool Mimic. And we'll make another green. This effectively generates some mana, and then we get to go Eldritch Evolution away a Rallier into Kiki-Jiki. The line's a bit more direct usually if you have a 1-drop, but you can usually figure things out. Go, Breaching Hippocamp, go! And now we play, do I misclick before my opponent concedes? Opponent making good use of their time here. Ooh, is this a stinky Yorion deck? I don't understand coming into the chat and saying, ooh, I don't know. I feel like it's been happening a lot lately. It's just like, specifically the ooh comment just makes no sense to me. Like, are you actually feeling feelings of disgust because the Yorion is in this deck? But also Yorion is great in this deck. Yorion's so good in Chord of Calling decks. Can we pot into Rallier into Wrestle? It doesn't matter. Like I took the very first line that I saw that won the game. You know, I was thinking about it, and as soon as I saw one line that won, I took it. So I know that there were other ways to win. I'm sure. I just took the first one that won. Probably do want the Meddling Mage to. I feel like you also probably don't need to play the spinny 4-drops. That's one thing I'll change going forward. I think anyone that uses the word stinky is pushing my buttons. Well, maybe they could push the ban button, you know? That could be a good button for them to push. Hey, Michael. I'm playing the Forged Tinder first as protection. We can maybe set up for turn 4, Courier plus Wall of Roots, win the game. Yes, about the Temur Urza deck and just got ignored. I didn't see your message, so not really ignoring, but also, you know, the reality is, and I say this with complete humility, the stream is just too big for me to answer every question. So if I don't get to yours, please don't take it personally, and please don't complain about it in chat. With peace and love. So we should be able to kill on turn 4 here, or yeah, turn 4. We can go Eladamri's Call for a mana dork, and then play Courier and Prime Speaker and kill them going forward. I guess we have the Forged Tinder to protect from bolts. If my opponent just casts Titan next turn, I don't think they're triggering Valakutes. Well, that's just too tempting. I'm going to fetch in response to this. We did draw the untapped land, thankfully. So I know that if we sack Forged Tinder, we have a kill, but ideally I'd like to not sack the Forged Tinder. So we can go Avid Mind Sensor. Or sorry, sack Wall of Roots, get... Oh, we don't have a 3 mana untap a creature guy, which is maybe a mistake in deck building to not have just 3 mana untap a creature in the list. Yeah, I think that we're seeing a deck building mistake here where I just don't have a way to untap a creature for 3 mana, so I think we're just gonna go for the regular sack your 1-drop line and be a little cold to Lightning Bolt here. Just V-click? I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to just V-click them. I think I'm supposed to try to kill them. They have to Lightning Bolt the actual Kiki-Jiki too. Kiki-Jiki. Can you try not to knock my chair? There's so much.
Sorry.
Because I might misclick. There's a lot of clicks going on.
Oh no.
See if they have bolts. They do not. Or if they do, they've taken an unnecessary 1 damage. Yeah, we should. I think we should be playing a Bounding Crisis or a Deceiver Exarch. Maybe Exarch is pretty relevant, having 4 toughness, but 3/3s are good too. Yeah, I think I would play Bounding Crisis or Exarch over just the mono green one. Torch Courier didn't untap, did it? You don't have Torch Courier doesn't have to tap to sacrifice. Torch Courier, I mean, it could because it has haste, I guess, but it doesn't need to. Okay, so 3-2 with Vannifar feels pretty good, especially for like what is very much a first draft of the deck. After playing a league, one thing I want to do is cut the Breaching Hippocamp for. I'd probably say Deceiver Exarch over Krasis, if anything. But you could play Bound to Krasis if you think 3-3 is better than 1-4, and that's just entirely up to you. I might even want to play a second Auriok champion in the main deck. That could be better. I could see not playing the Scryb Ranger. I also think a Revoker in the sideboard to get would be pretty good. Though I don't know exactly what we'd be cutting. But I think a Revoker for the Heliod matchup would be well worth it. So those are my thoughts. I think I'm also going to open this Eldraine booster. Hoping to get a Gingerbread Cabin. I got a Great Hinge. It actually might be worth something. Drown in the Lock is nice, but no Gingerbread Cabin.
I want a Gingerbread Cabin. A real one.
Yeah, I think you could cut a Witness too. Maybe.